Hey watch fam, I hope you're all really well. So, just thought I'd get a watch out early in this video. The 114060. The 114060 guys, the sub no date 114060, or better known as just the Submariner. It's been a day today, it's been a good day today, it's been a good day. It's, a day that keeps you busy, on your toes, sorting this out, sorting that out, putting some fires out. It's just another day, right? Anyway guys, I thought I'd get a video out on the 114060. One moment. I looked back on some of my videos the other day and I realised that the first ever video I did was of an 114060. It was a really rubbish video. I mean, it was a really bad video, but it's had, it's probably had the most views out of all my videos. I'd say it's had the most views out of all my videos because it was just titled Rolex Submariner 114060 review. It was just me looking down at a watch. I think I recorded it like this with my iPhone. It was such a rubbish video, but it gave me that taste. It gave me that taste of YouTube. It was fun. I don't know. I remember buying the 114060, and I didn't really have anyone to sort of celebrate it with or talk to anyone about it. So I thought, fling it on YouTube. Seemed to be loads of stuff on YouTube. Saying that, I believe it was such a rubbish, basic video that, and I never followed up with anything better in terms of the 114060. I've done a video on the 124060. In fact, I did a video on the 124060 last year where I put it up against the 114060 in terms of what I think is a preferred watch if you're in a market for one now. Truthfully speaking, this could be a bit of just a copy and paste video, but I'm going to try for it not to be a copy and paste video. I think it's important that it's not. I think that in this video, let's just focus on the 114060. And having not worn one for a while and wearing it today, I wanted to give maybe a bit of feedback on it. And one of the main things, I never criticised the 114060 before, by the way, and not that people said I did. I just wanted to put it out there that if you're in the market today for an 114060 or a 124060, it doesn't really matter. Like, it genuinely does not matter. It doesn't matter unless you want the reflective coating on it or the different size bracelet. It doesn't really matter. And I know the 124060 is commanding a bit more money because it's got it's got the newer movement. Maybe they've sorted out lug gate. But you know what, having worn a $50th now, non-stop since December, pretty much. I'm always between the SD50 and the GP, or the Panerai. Having worn the SD50, this watch feels, would I say small? No, I don't think the watch feels small. I think the bracelet feels really slim. But it feels slim in a really kind of nice way. It feels slim in a very comfortable way. Like I enjoy wearing the 114060. And so the question is, should you still buy an 114060 in 2022? Or should you hold out for a 124060? My honest answer to that is, I'm not too fussed personally. I really am not. I bought a 124060 last year, which I don't have to hand at the moment because I don't keep my watches with me. Generally speaking, I don't keep any of my watches with me. I have, one or two at a time with me. That's why I don't do things like state of the collection videos and all that. I don't like the feel of state of the collection videos. It's kind of difficult to do a state of collection video from what I've seen on other channels without it just coming across really, I don't know, just bad. Like, whatever. I try and remember what I have. It's not my business to kind of go through it all. I've sold a lot, I've bought a lot. But the 114060, one of the things which used to bother me about the 11 series Submariners were the lugs. I don't know, this is my watch journey. And one of the things I realise, I think the older I get, or maybe the more tired I get is the genuine reason, that I just care less. I genuinely care less. Like, whereas before I was really caring about the lugs or the bracelet, for me it's like, well, as long as the watch is really good and functional, and I mean Rolex, not any watch, as long as the watch, it makes sense, it makes, like, would I spend extra money on an updated movement? No. Do I care that one movement is 2 days, one movement's 3 days? No. My GP is a 2-day movement, and my SD50 is a 3-day movement. Now granted, I barely ever have to wind the SD50 because I'm always wearing it. The GP, sometimes I do have to wind it because I don't wear it as often as the SD50, but I don't mind the winding. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. It doesn't bother me that much. I think a lot of people put too much attention on, oh, well, you know, if you put the watch down on a weekend, then you have to go back to work on a Monday, you have to wind it. First world problems, right guys? First world problems. So, the 114060, the classic Submariner. This was the watch which launched the Rolex Submariner out of the pre-ceramic, prehistoric era. It launched them into the ceramic world. And in the beginning, when I was getting into subs, I personally wouldn't have considered a no-date sub, because as many in the beginning, I kind of viewed it as, well, you're not getting the full option one. But I think as my tastes matured, the balanced symmetrical dial of the 114060 or the 124060, it just really appeals to me. You know, if I see family photos or photos taken somewhere, this dial just really, really pops. And if you compare it to something like a busy SD50, there's just something very relaxing about this watch. Sadly, my camera won't autofocus on it, and I can't be bothered to lean forward for it to autofocus on it, but it's just something very nice. What I will say, guys, is I think this watch, the 114060, is I think the 114060 is more comfortable than the 124060. I really do. I think the 114060 is a more comfortable watch. I think the 124060 you go for if you want the slightly bigger clasp and bracelet, and you want the anti-reflective coating on top of the crystal. You know, I don't mind between them. But one thing I would say, again, is that for the 124060, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, guys, I think you need to be seriously at the top end of 6-inch wrist size, preferably at least a 7-inch wrist size for a 124060. I really do think you need a 7-inch for a 124060. Your wrists need to be, you know, they need to have the thickness for it. I didn't find it as comfortable as this. The bracelet, I think, is 20 millimeters. So the lugs are 20 millimeters. It tapers down considerably, I think, to 17 or 16 at the clasp. I'm not quite sure. But what else do you want, guys? What else do you want? I'm not going to focus this video in terms of everything historical about the sub no date. There's plenty of videos out there that do that really, really well, better than I could ever hope to do. But I think that the 114060 in 2022 shouldn't be disregarded. I mean, I own it for a reason. I think it's just, there's something really appealing about it, you know. But you know, people do generally jump on the newer is better stuff. They do generally jump on the newer is better stuff. And that's just something instinctual that we have, right? It's some primitive wiring that we have. But you know, that's all I kind of really wanted to bring on to the topic of the 114060, guys. It's a fantastic watch, and you know, if you've got wrists below 7 inches, I genuinely do recommend the 114060. It's a very beautiful, well balanced watch. It wears more comfortably than the 124060. The movement is a proven workhorse of now 20, 30 years, or however long it's been in there. It's got the same kind of engineering as the 124060 from a clasp basis. You've got the glide lock system. You've got a seriously robust movement. You've got the ceramic. You've got all the good stuff. And you don't have the crown between Swiss and a maid. I'm not the biggest fan of the crown between Swiss and a maid. I think it just adds to dials which already have a little bit too much text anyway. And I know why Rolex did it, obviously to differentiate themselves from the previous generation, but it's just adding stuff to the dial, right? It's just adding stuff to the dial. Sorry guys, I just needed to have a look at it. It's just a great looking watch. So yeah, I thought I'd give the 114060 a little bit more time there in the YouTube video section. I like that it has no date. I'm not a massive Cyclops fan, really, if I'm honest. I had the Cyclops, or I have the Cyclops on the SD50. I've had various watches with the Cyclops. In the beginning, it was my definition of Rolex. Now the Cyclops, if I could just take it off like a scab, I really would. If I really could just take it off like a scab, I would. But I know you can. I know some people do, but it's there, so you just have to accept it. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section about the 114060. You know, what your comparisons are to the 124060, what else you're pitting the 114060 against. One thing which resonates about the 114060, in my mind at least, is that because the lugs are so fat, it's theoretically maybe going to stand the test of time, or it will weather better over the years, because it's just got such fat lugs, right? If you look at some of the pre-ceramic Submariners, you can tell the ones that have been over-polished. The pinhole or the spring bars tend to sort of stick out when a watch has been over-polished. They protrude a little bit, and that's when you know to walk away from a particular deal, which I have done on one or two occasions. So yeah guys, let me know what you think about the 114060. You can't be a classic black Rolex. Really, you cannot be a classic black Rolex, guys. All the best. Speak soon. Thanks. Bye.